Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are looking at how to learn English quickly and effectively.
Sounds good.
We've got two great sources for this one.
Okay.
13 ways to learn English fast and effectively,
Mm-hmm.
and free English language resources.
Awesome.
And you know what's really cool?
What that?
Both of these sources,
Yeah.
they really emphasize that it's not just about textbooks and grammar.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. It's about making English a part of your everyday life, having fun with it.
Exactly, that's what makes it stick. One of the things that stood out to me
Yeah.
was this idea of labeling everyday objects around your house.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the English words.
I love that.
It's a little quirky,
It is a little quirky.
but I can see how
Yeah.
it would kind of turn your whole house into this vocabulary game.
Totally. I mean, think about it. It's like you're creating this immersive environment
Right.
where you're constantly exposed to the language without even realizing it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how we learned our first language as kids.
Exactly.
We didn't start with grammar rules. We just absorbed everything from our surroundings. So this is kind of like tapping back into that natural learning process.
That's so cool. So instead of just like sitting down for an hour and studying English,
Right.
you're basically turning your whole life into an English learning experience.
Exactly. And the best part is it doesn't have to be boring. Both of these sources, they talk about all the fun resources that are out there now. Online apps, websites, interactive games.
Oh, yeah. Like there's this one website mentioned in the free English language resources guide called Write and Improve.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
And it's free.
That's great.
And it's developed by Cambridge University.
Wow.
It lets you practice writing and get feedback from real teachers.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic, especially for building confidence in your writing skills.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there are tons of other apps and websites out there.
I bet.
Focusing on all different aspects of language learning: vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, conversation practice, you name it.
Yeah, there really is something for everyone out there,
Yeah.
no matter what your learning style is. But I think it's still important
Yeah,
to remember those core skills, right?
absolutely.
Listening, reading, writing, speaking.
Yes, those are the building blocks.
Yeah, the foundation.
You can't forget those. And the 13 Ways Guide, it does a really good job of breaking those down
Yeah.
and offering practical tips for improving each one.
Like, for example.
Well, they suggest for listening, try watching English movies and TV shows with subtitles, but in your native language.
Oh, that's a great tip. So you can kind of get used to the sounds of English.
Exactly. And pick up some new vocabulary while you're enjoying the show.
Exactly.
Two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
And then for reading, they recommend starting with materials that are maybe slightly below your current level.
Oh, okay. So not too challenging.
Right. It could be children's books, graded readers, even simplified versions of classic novels.
Got it.
The idea is to choose something that you can understand comfortably, so you can really focus on enjoying the story and absorbing the language naturally.
That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like choosing a weight at the gym, you know?
I like that analogy.
You want something that you can lift comfortably,
Yes,
but it still challenges you to get stronger.
perfect analogy. And then for writing, they suggest starting with something simple,
Okay.
like maybe keeping a daily journal in English.
Well, that's a good idea.
Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get your thoughts down on paper.
Yeah.
Practice expressing yourself in English. It's like a little mini workout for your brain.
Yeah. And speaking of workouts, what about speaking practice?
Ah, yes.
I think that's often the scariest part
I think you're right.
for language learners.
Especially for beginners, that fear of making mistakes,
Right.
it can hold people back.
Totally.
But the key is just to jump in and start talking.
But how do you do that?
Well, even if it's just to yourself at first.
Oh, okay.
You can practice those everyday phrases,
Yeah.
ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, and try not to worry too much about making mistakes.
Easy for you to say.
Well, think of mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow.
Okay. I like that.
The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
That's true.
And remember, everyone makes mistakes when they're learning something new.
That's true.
Even native English speakers make mistakes sometimes.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
So be patient with yourself. Don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with the language.
So true.
And don't be afraid to seek out opportunities to speak with others.
Yeah. Where would you even do that?
Well, online or in person, there are tons of language exchange platforms out there, where you can connect with native English speakers who want to learn your language.
Oh, that's cool.
Win-win situation.
I like it.
You both get to practice.
That's really cool. One of the sources actually mentioned a program called English Path,
Oh, yeah,
and they offer pretty wide variety of courses,
they do.
from general English to exam preparation.
Mhm.
They even have specialized courses like English for business or English for people over 50.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it is pretty amazing how much variety there is out there.
So we've covered some great fundamental strategies here.
Yeah, we have.
Immersion, the importance of those core skills, and then all these incredible online resources.
And just to kind of sum it all up, it's not just about cracking open a textbook
Right.
and memorizing grammar rules.
It's about making English a part of your life.
Exactly, in a way that feels natural and enjoyable.
I love that. And are you ready to dive even deeper?
I am.
Because we're going to get into some more specific tips
Let's do it.
and strategies
I'm excited.
to really make this happen.
Me too.
All right, so we've got a good foundation now
Yeah.
for learning English.
Yeah.
We talked about immersion, focusing on those core skills,
Right.
and using all those cool online resources.
Exactly.
But now let's zoom in
Yeah, let's get specific.
on some specific tips and tricks
I like it.
for really making English a part of your everyday life.
Absolutely. And one that I think really stands out in both of these guides is the idea of using technology
Oh yeah, tech is everywhere.
to make learning more fun and engaging.
Right.
And it's not just about using apps. It's about finding creative ways to incorporate English into your digital world.
Oh, I like that. And one of the sources mentioned something called English Path,
Yes?
which seems to be like a pretty comprehensive online program.
It is. It offers a variety of courses designed for different needs and learning styles.
Like what kind of courses?
Well, they have courses for general English, exam preparation like for IELTS or TOEFL,
Oh, wow.
business English, and even a course specifically for learners over 50.
That's awesome. So they really cater to a wide range of learners.
They do, and what I think is really unique about their approach is that they emphasize personalized learning.
Okay.
So they'll assess your current English level
Oh, cool.
and then create a tailored study plan just for you.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all approach.
Not at all.
You're getting a learning journey that's specifically designed for you.
Exactly. And they also have expert teachers who provide feedback and support throughout the course.
Oh, that's great. So you have someone to guide you.
Exactly, which can be really helpful, especially if you're a beginner and feeling a bit lost.
It's like having a personal English coach in your corner.
That's a great way to put it. But, let's not forget about all the free resources that are available online, too.
Right, there are so many.
One of the sources highlights this fantastic website
Yeah.
called Write and Improve, which is developed by Cambridge University.
Oh, yeah, this one caught my eye, too.
It lets you practice your writing
Mm-hmm.
and get feedback from real English teachers, and it's completely free.
That's amazing. So anyone can use it.
Anyone with an internet connection.
I love that. And speaking of accessibility, both of our sources really emphasize that technology can be such a powerful tool
Absolutely.
for making English practice more convenient and fun.
Yeah, there are language learning apps for everything these days.
Really? Like for what?
Vocabulary building, grammar practice, pronunciation training, conversation simulations.
Wow. It's like having a whole English learning toolkit right in your pocket.
Exactly. You can practice English anytime, anywhere.
Oh, I like that.
Waiting for the bus, practice some vocabulary flashcards, cooking dinner, listen to an English podcast.
Oh, that's a good one.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, you're right. There really are so many ways to fit it into your life.
And one thing I really appreciate about both of these guides
Yeah.
is that they don't just focus on technology.
Right.
They also highlight the importance of real-world interaction.
Yeah, getting out there.
And applying what you've learned in authentic situations.
Right, because it's one thing to study the grammar rules and the vocabulary lists,
Yeah.
but it's another thing entirely to actually use the language.
Absolutely. To have a conversation, to read real English books and articles, write emails to friends.
Yeah, it's like the difference between learning about cooking from a book
Right.
and actually getting in the kitchen and whipping up a meal.
I love that analogy.
You need that hands-on experience
Yes, you do.
to really master any skill.
Absolutely.
And language learning is no different.
It's a skill like any other, and both of our sources offer some really creative and fun ways to incorporate English into your daily life.
Yeah, like what?
Beyond just studying, well, one source suggests trying to think in English for short periods throughout the day.
Oh, wow.
Even something as simple as narrating your actions in your head.
Like what?
I'm making coffee, I'm
Wow.
walking to the store.
Oh, okay.
It can help you internalize the language and make it feel more natural.
So you're kind of giving your brain a little workout in English, even when you're not actively studying.
Exactly. And another source recommends embracing the power of music.
Oh, music.
Listening to English songs
Yeah.
can be a fun and effective way to improve your listening comprehension, pick up new vocabulary and phrases, and even get a feel for the rhythm and intonation of the language.
Music is so powerful
It is.
for language learning. You can sing along even if you don't know all the words.
Yeah,
And just let the music immerse you in the sounds of English.
exactly.
That's awesome.
And there are so many other fun ways to incorporate English into your life. Watching movies and TV shows, listening to podcasts,
Mm.
reading books and articles,
Oh, yeah.
playing video games,
Really? Even video games?
even video
Oh,
games,
wow.
attending online language exchange meetups. I mean, the possibilities really are endless.
Yeah, I guess it's just about finding your works for you and making the learning process enjoyable.
Exactly. I mean, if you're not having fun, you're less likely to stick with it, right?
Rightly.
And that brings us to another important point that I think both of our sources emphasize,
Okay.
which is staying motivated.
Right? Because it's a journey.
It is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Exactly.
And, learning a new language can be challenging at times.
Oh, yeah.
There will be moments where you feel frustrated, maybe discouraged.
Right.
But it's important to remember why you started learning English in the first place.
That's true.
And to focus on the progress you're making, even if it's in small steps.
Yeah, celebrate those small victories along the way.
Exactly, because they all add up to big progress in the long run.
So true. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. I mean, there are millions of people around the world learning English.
Millions.
And there's a huge community of learners and teachers ready to support you.
A huge community.
So don't be afraid to reach out, ask questions, connect with other learners.
I think that's such a good point. Sharing your experiences, learning from others,
Yeah.
can make the journey so much more enjoyable and rewarding.
It's like having a whole team of cheerleaders rooting for you.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, there's one more kind of fascinating idea that I think is worth exploring.
Oh, tell me.
And that is the idea of using AI
Oh, yeah.
to enhance your language learning experience.
Oh, that's right. One of the sources mentioned using AI for storytelling practice,
Yes.
which sounds incredibly cool.
Tell me more about that.
AI for storytelling practice. That sounds super futuristic.
It is pretty cool.
How does that even work?
So there are these AI tools out there,
Okay.
like Pseudo-Write or Jasper,
Mm-hmm.
and they can help you craft stories in English.
Wow.
You can brainstorm plot ideas with the AI,
That's so cool.
get feedback on your grammar and vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
even experiment with different writing styles.
Wow. It's like having a personal writing coach available 24/7.
It kind of is.
I could see how that could be really helpful for building confidence and fluency.
Absolutely. And it's a fun way to just push yourself creatively,
Yeah.
explore the language in a new way. But even without these fancy AI tools,
Right.
there are so many simple yet effective ways to make English a part of your daily life.
Like what? Give me some more of those creative tips.
Well, one source suggests changing your phone and computer settings to English.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a small change, but it can make a big difference.
Yeah, you're constantly interacting with your devices.
Right.
So why not make those interactions an opportunity to learn English?
Exactly. And another tip is to find ways to connect your hobbies and interests with English.
Okay.
So if you love cooking, try following English language recipes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If you're into sports, watch English language sports commentary. If you enjoy music, listen to English language podcasts about music.
So it's all about finding those little ways to weave English into the fabric of your life.
Exactly. Make it feel natural and enjoyable.
Not like a tour.
Not like a chore, exactly. And one final tip that I think is really powerful
Okay.
is to try to surround yourself with positive and supportive people
Yeah.
who encourage your language learning journey.
Having a supportive community can make all the difference when you're facing those challenges and feeling discouraged.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of learning English quickly and effectively,
Right.
I think the key takeaway is this.
Okay.
It's not just about studying hard.
Yeah.
It's about making English a part of your life in a way that feels authentic, engaging, and fun.
So it's not just about grammar rules and vocabulary lists.
Right.
It's about finding creative ways to immerse yourself in the language.
Exactly. And letting the learning happen naturally.
I love that.
Now, here's a final thought-provoking question for you.
Okay.
What are some unique ways that you could incorporate English into your daily routine based on your specific interests and passions?
That's a great question to ponder. We've given you tons of ideas to get started.
We have.
But ultimately, the most effective approach is the one that resonates with you personally. So go out there, explore, experiment,
Yes.
and most importantly, have fun on your English learning journey.
Happy learning.